Hello, welcome to my 3D Amuser channel. This is Keyshot Basics video series. This is the second part of Keyshot, and in this video tutorial, we're gonna learn how to create materials in Keyshot and how to edit it. Let's jump onto it. So this is where we left off from the last chapter. We went through how to navigate through Keyshot user interface, and I also explained the tabs we have in here. So in order to assign something to your geometry, whatever you exported, there is something called Keyshot library. It's if you don't find it, sometimes if you don't find it, you just click here, it's gonna pop up here. Sometimes you don't find it, so if you click here, it's gonna pop up here. So it will be, sometimes it doesn't show up, so you just go to Keyshot library, it will be here. So Keyshot has like a bunch of materials from metal to wood, and you could see like a bunch of materials here. For now, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put some metal in it. So as soon as I click on metal, so there's a lot of subcategories in metal. So you can go aluminum, there's brass, and there's chrome, copper, and old, titanium, and it keeps going. So you could do a lot of stuff with this. So for now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to say paint. Let's say some paint gloss material. So you just click and drag it here. That's it. Boom, it's done. You can see it's literally applied to it. So, and once you apply to your material, you go to the project. So now if you go to the material, it's going to show up here. And if you select the material, and if you double click on it, it's going to show the properties and textures and labels. So the properties are nothing but you could manipulate whatever you have here. So I just literally changed my color of it. So there you go. So, and there is roughness. Roughness is like how shiny you want it. So if I go like that, it's gonna look matte. So if I go all the way there, it's gonna look matte. If you see, it looks like a velvet now. So if I go there, it kind of looks like a little bit of metal, but if I go all the way down, it's gonna be like a shiny metal. So the refractive index is how shiny you want it. So it's based on the refraction index value. So if I go like that, if I go all the way down, it's going to be pure metal. If I go all the way down, it's going to be paint gloss. So you can see the paint as well as metal. You could also put in the values here as well. If you know IOR value, you can find it and you can put it here. I'm going to say 1.65. That's kind of like a paint metal. So they also have something called texture tab. So you could also plug in your own color and bump and opacity. And there's also something called texture type. So there are several different types. Some called grenade, and if I select grenade, you could see it literally applied that grenade color into my texture map. So if I say leather, it's going to do leather, and if I say noise fractal, it's going to have noise fractal. And you can also bring your own map as well. I'm going to show you now. I'm going to say none. So if you click on here, so if you double click on the color, it's going to pop up a window. So what I'm going to do, I have some maps here, you can see. So for now, I'm going to grab this map, and I'm just going to click open. So now if you see the map, I pulled it in, it kind of did that. And as soon as I pulled in the map, it say the texture type to texture map. So you can also scale it, and you can also change the type of the map. It's literally doing a box map. I could say cylindrical, and I could say spherical. See, this gives like really good kind of like a crazy command. It's kind of like a noise fractal, but it kind of looks pretty good. And you could also say UV coordinate. So if you have UVs, I think this model have some UVs, so that's why it's putting the map based on my UVs. I usually go box map. So then you could say the scale, or you could type it in. So I'm going to say 0.1. So that's kind of, it's too small, so I'm going to say 1. Maybe that's 2, maybe 3. So since my map is not tileable, so that's why I'm having this issue. If it's a tileable map, it's going to be going around all the map. And you could also change the angle as well. And you could also change the brightness and contrast in your map as well. So you don't have to do anything else. So you could see I just adjusted the contrast in my thing. So you could also plug in a bump map as well. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to double click on it. So I'm going to grab a random map. So as soon as I plug it in, you can't see it here because my bump value is not. So let's say 5. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say my bump height to 5. Okay, so I'm going to plug in the same map because my map has not that many dark and light values. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to plug in the same map. So now if you see that map doesn't have enough contrast. So now if you see my bump map showed up. So I'm going to say 1. So now you can see. So you can also have bump values as well. And you can also have opacity value as well. The opacity is nothing but black and white map, which is gonna make my geometry transparent. So I'm going to, for demonstration purposes, I'm gonna grab a map so you could see. See, my geo become opacity on the white areas and the black is not transparent. So you literally see the background as well. So that's how you manipulate the texture maps. And there's something called labels. You can also add labels as well. But I'm going to show in the later chapter, I'm going to have a specific chapter for labels so you guys can learn it. For now, we did everything. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to say blend with color. So that what that will do, that will blends the red color with my map so you can see it. So I'm going to get rid of my opacity map for now. So now you see we kind of got like some kind of like metallic, grungy metal. So I'm just gonna change my material now. So I could click and drag on a material now. So you could see it literally changed my material. So now I could go to my project tab and go and edit my materials. So there are a lot of materials you can play around with. I started with paint, so there's also some aluminum. So if you put on aluminum, it's going to look like aluminum. So it's straightforward. Then after that, you can go and play with the properties, and you can also add your own textures as well. So it has a bump in it, so I'm got rid of the bump. So there's wood. You can also plug in wood. So it's literally dragging and dropping materials into it. So that's it, guys. And to recap, what we learned is we have a geo here. So we went to the material tab from going to the library tab here. Then we have the materials here. So literally, if you click here, it's going to show up all the materials you have, and they also have subcategories as well. So you can go in and play with it. In order to apply a material to your geo, you just click and drag it. That's it. Then it's going to do that. So once you have it, you go to the project tab and go to the material tab, and if you double click on it, it's going to come with the properties. Then you go and adjust whatever you want here. In order to adjust the scale of your scale, you adjust the scale. The scale is how big your texture map you want. The bigger the scale, so you could see it's literally changing the value as well. So you could also put a bump map as well, and you can play with the bump height through bump height here, right here at the bottom. So that's it for today, guys. In the next chapter, I'm going to talk about environments. I'm going to show you how to use environments in Keyshot. If you like this tutorial, please like, subscribe, and comment below. And if you have any questions, please write me at 3dmuser@gmail.com, and I will happy to answer you, help you guys as well. Until then, I'll see you in the next one.